So in the premiere, it seems like Jessie's doing her own thing now, and she's kind of becoming very independent from Rick. Would you say that love boat has sailed?
I think I would say that she's listening to Rick.
Sure.
So that doesn't necessarily mean she's taken on board what Rick had said, is that you guys need to lift. You need to educate, you need to arm, you need to train, and she's heard him. She's also, I think that they both are reeling from what has happened recently. I wouldn't rule it out by any means. The mere fact that she's taking on board what he's asked of the citizens of Alexandria is a good indicator that she regards what he's done and what he's trying to do as, as good advice.
Sure.
I would say watch out for what Alex Breckenridge is doing this season, because you see a transformative performance from her, which is extraordinary. And I think that there are certain parts of each other that there's an obvious attraction to one another, and she's hugely important as to why he believes in Alexandria. But it's dating in the apocalypse is pretty tough, especially when you kill the husband of the person you kind of like.
Yeah. Well, you had shades of Shane.
What's that?
Shades of almost like Shane Walsh, but a little bit more controlled.
Yeah, I know. Jon Bernthal has called me up and just said, you see, what's wrong with you? I was on the right tilt 3 years ago. What are you doing? I agree. I mean, that's the thing I love about playing a character for so long, is the echoes, and you realize who you carry with you.
Mm-hmm.
What characters form you, and the environment and your relationships form you.
Sure.
And I think that I love that. Well, certainly last season when I called up Scott and I said, this is echoes of Shane, and he said that is absolutely intentional.
Wow.
It's like in the first episode, you'll see there are repetitions of the first meeting in the first ever episode between Morgan and Rick.
Yeah.
Listen, if you look at what is being said by those two men, and then watch the first episode again, you'll get some surprises. It's a really neat storytelling.
Yeah, it's brilliant writing, absolutely brilliant writing. Do you think you'll ever find a way to top killing somebody like you had to bite Joe's throat out?
That was a pretty, I remember when I read that episode and I just said, there's a line in the sand, isn't there, Scott, about what the level of intensity of violence that we're allowed to show, and I said, are we overstepping it, do you think, with the neck bite? And he said, no, I don't. And because this is a man who would do anything to protect his son. And when we did it, it made complete sense.
Sure.
Now, I think we're moving into an area of the story. I don't quite know yet because we're not 100% sure, but where we face some very, very formidable and scary and dangerous folk. So I'm sure that, I'm not going to say any more than that, but I'm sure that knowing the show and knowing the writing on this show, that Rick will have to face a few other moments of jeopardy.
Sure.
Because that's what we do.
Yeah.
And when he's put in the corner, when he's backed into a corner, he's willing to do pretty much anything. So all I would say is hold that thought.
Okay. All right. Now, at the end of this premiere, those horns are sounding. The zombies are about to flood Alexandria. What is going through Rick's mind, and where are his priorities?
Well, I think that the priority is to try and determine what the sound is, but also this is what I loved about the first episode. It's a monster movie. It's one big and that's what it's Godzilla. And so I think his major priority is to try and work out how they're going to lead this 20,000 horde back onto the road. I mean, it's very, but that's no small feat. I mean, I think that there are many things buzzing through his head, but the initial thing is, let's regroup, let's see what we can do, and let's make a plan very quickly. But I'm not allowed to tell you that plan just yet. You have to find out.
Sorry to interrupt. Mike just has time for one more question.
But rest assured, Rick Grimes is a man with a plan, and he likes making them. They sometimes go completely wrong, but he's not. He's not ashamed of his plan making.
Sure.
So there will be something up his sleeve.
Awesome. Now, okay, then from Rick's perspective, say it's the last episode of The Walking Dead. What would Rick want to see? What is the happy ending for Rick Grimes from Rick's perspective?
The happy ending for Rick Grimes' perspective?
Yeah.
I think just, maybe just taking his boots off, getting in a warm bath, and watching his children frolic hand in hand through a field of daisies.
And that just doesn't seem like it's going to happen.
I don't think that's ever going to happen.